Okay, so my ass almost got carried into the ocean, kind of. Um, okay, let me explain a little bit. So, if you're watching this video for the first time, I'll give you some context. I'm in a beach house right now. Okay, this is a beach house. Okay, this is not my room. I would never willingly paint my walls red. Okay, pause. No diddy. But yeah, today was my first full day here, so we're at the ocean, and you know, I woke up later than everyone else, obviously. So everyone else was at the beach already, and I was like, okay, time for me to lock in and go to the beach, right? So I woke up and I brushed my teeth and I packed my stuff. I didn't really pack my stuff, I guess. I just took my towel and my seat and I went over to the beach, right? So I'm walking to the beach, da 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 da, this and that. It's cloudy outside, okay? It's cloudy and it's rainy, right? So I'm like, I'm definitely not taking my ass for a swim, right? So I go to the beach, I see my family and whatnot, and I'm like, okay, lit. We're about to get hella litty in here, whatever, you know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna tan or anything because it's just like cloudy and I'm pretty sure like the UV is down and whatnot. So I'm like, cool, perfect. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna just do my thing, whatever. So I chilled for a little bit, just like sitting next to my family, and then after that, we brought like a skimboard, so I tried skimboarding. By the way, I suck ass at skimboarding. Holy dude. There's probably not a single person on earth that's like worse at skimboarding than me. Every time I throw the board down and then I run to like jump onto it, it digs into the sand. I'm like 99% sure I'm doing it wrong, but also like that's okay because like I'm not like a skimboard pro. Like I've never claimed to be a skimboarder. You know what I'm saying? I hope you guys get the reference here because I've never. Anyways, so you know what I'm saying? And slowly, little by little, I'm like getting deeper into the ocean, right? I'm like a little deep in the ocean, and then I'm knee deep in the ocean, and next thing you know, I'm like waist deep in the ocean. I'm like, all right, I gotta put the skimboard down. All right, so I put the skimboard down, and I'm like, okay, no more skimboarding. And my dad was swimming the whole time. He was like, yo, you should come swim with me. And I was like, nah, I don't think I'm going to. You know what I'm saying? The weather is too weird. But the water felt really nice. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to slowly make my way in, right? So my dad was in the water and he had one of those foam boards, like the ones that you like jump onto. And then when the wave crashes, it kind of like takes you to the front of the beach, you know what I'm saying? It takes you back out. So you kind of like almost like surf on your stomach, right? So he's doing that thing. And I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm going to just pull up there, jump through the waves and whatnot. It was like windy, so the waves were like crazy. It was like super high. But you know what I'm saying? Yeah, so we're just swimming and whatnot. And then my dad's like catching all these waves on the foam board, going all the way to the front and coming all the way back to where I was. I'm probably like this deep in the ocean, right? I've still obviously reached the bottom, but I'm not like knee deep, It's getting a little bit deeper. So we're swimming and whatnot, and my dad is like, "Do you see the flags at the beach?" And I'm like, "What flags?" And he was like, "Well, the people say the current is really strong and it takes people into the ocean, right?" And I'm like, "I ain't never heard of this, I'm a freaking 21-year-old dude. No ocean gonna take me, right? Like, real freaking awkward if, you know, something happens to me and then on the grave they put the ocean took him. Like what? You know what I'm saying? God forbid something actually happens though. I just want to clarify I want to live and I do not want to die, okay? But yeah, so then he passed me the phone board. He's like, "Oh, you want to catch some waves too?" And I'm like, "Hell yeah, I want to catch some waves." So there we are, just like swapping back and forth, catching waves and whatnot. And you know what I'm saying? So I caught a wave and I passed the board to my dad. And then I realized, oh shoot, that's so interesting. I can't reach the floor anymore, right? So my dad's like, "Yo, just make sure you don't go too far, cause that ocean is gonna take you, right?" And I'm like, right, And I got lucky the first time because a huge wave hit, and I actually tried to dive into it, but like I couldn't do it on the time, and it like crashed like right before I dove into it. So it like pushed me all the way back, and I like flipped underwater and whatnot. And luckily I didn't hit the ground or like hurt myself or anything, so I was good, So I walked out, I was like, sick, dude. That was crazy. Like the waves get a little crazy. So I understand. It's getting a little bit more serious, okay? Like, okay, I might be a 21-year-old dude, whatever, but like, these waves are no joke, you feel me? Like, this wave just knocked me off my feet, and I like twirled and freaking twisted, whatever. Like, we not about to do all that. Okay, so I'm being more careful with the waves. All right, so we're catching the waves on the stupid foam board, passing it back and forth, and I'm holding on to this foam board, and I just like laid on my back, and I was just floating a little bit, just like waves were coming in, so I was like on with the waves, you know what I'm saying? And then my dad is like, yo, just make sure to not go too far. I'm like, I got you, Dad. Don't even worry. And so instead of like floating on the foam board, I try to put my feet down, and I realize I don't feel the ground. Okay. And I'm like, here we go again. A wave's gonna hit. I'll be fine. You know what I'm saying? But it's the little waves. They don't really push you forward. It pulls you back more than it pushes you forward. So I'm like, oh shoot, here we go. And my dad is like, yo, like the current's taking you, bro. And I'm like, oh shoot. So I lay on the board and I try freaking swimming with my feet, but the current is just significantly stronger and it's just pulling me into the freaking ocean because there's a wave that's coming up. And when there's a wave that's coming up, all the water goes away into the wave and then the wave comes back, right? So I'm like, ah, shoot, I'm getting freaking dragged into the ocean. So I throw the board over to my dad and I'm like, okay, I gotta lock in. So I go underwater and I'm like swimming. I'm like pushing. I'm like, oh, shoot, I'm not to be taken by no ocean right now. So luckily there was a wave that hit and it brought me a little bit closer to where I was. Like I got dragged back a little bit more than I expected to. But the wave pushed me a little bit closer to where I could kind of tippy toe on the ground, right? So I could kind of reach it a little bit with my tippy toes. But you know what I'm saying? So I started just slowly like kicking my way forward. I got dragged back a little bit, but luckily a big wave hit and it pushed me forward a little bit more. And there I was standing. You know what I'm saying? And my dad's like, "You good?" And I'm like, "Yeah, Dad, I'm chilling." You know what I'm saying? Because I obviously don't want to like stress my parents out or anything. Like, especially my mom. She's like scared of the water. She doesn't. She never gets in the water. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, "Yeah, I'm chilling and stuff like that." When in reality, I'm like, "Holy crap!" I just, I just almost traveled to Australia. You feel me? Like I just almost explored the whole East Coast by accident. Okay, so that happened. I'm obviously not taken by the ocean, clearly, because I'm right here. But yeah, that was lit. Other than that, I had a great freaking day. We went swimming a little bit, like I said, and then we went to like some stores and looked at some lifeguard stuff and just like your typical like beach stores, like tourist stores, like magnets and necklaces and whatnot. It was very silly, goofy. And we're in the South, so there was like a all Trump store. I don't even care about politics to be quite honest with you, but I know the radical left and radical right are really into what they preach about. So I was like, oh shoot, it's a freaking big face of Trump. Let me go see what the frick's going on. People were taking photos with the cardboard's Trump. It was like a cutout of him, and people were like taking photos with him like it was Trump himself. I was like, who gonna tell him it's not the real deal? Like it's not the dude, you feel me? But it was actually kind of funny, all these conservatives were like, America, you feel me? But yeah, I felt pretty uncomfortable there though, because I was like, ooh, and what else? I went to into like a candy store. I tried these like jelly candies from like 2019, and I popped one of them in my mouth, and it like sprayed all over my phone, which made for a funny video, but not so fun of a cleanup. I think my nightstand that I'm filming this on right now is still a little sticky from that. Yeah, I had a pretty great day, and I'm looking forward to tomorrow because hopefully tomorrow the ocean does not take me. Okay, all right.